On the ice, everything was amazing. Off the ice, I didn't feel like I fit in. When you're pretending to be someone else, you get really, really good at it. I grew up in Brights Grove, Ontario, just outside of Sarnia. I always saw it as more of a conservative town with very little diversity. My childhood was pretty similar to a lot of people's childhood. Hanging out with friends, playing sports. I know, I just love you so much.
Jess was the happy-go-luckiest of the three kids. She was always happy, and she was always smiling.
I started skating when I was 3 or 4 years old. Shortly after that, I started playing hockey.
As she was growing up, we always had an ice rink in the backyard. They had lights, so they'd be out there till like all hours of the night.
I went to a lot of hockey games. I think I've been to every hockey arena in southwestern Ontario.
On the ice, for me, everything was amazing. It was natural for me. But off the ice, it kind of shaped who I thought I needed to be. It didn't really help me figure out who I was. Coming back here, the hardest part is remembering who I was when I was back here. Pretty much a lifetime ago for me. Come, let's see what the new wing's like.
Yeah, we should check that out.
Yeah.
I have a lot of happy memories, but I do also know that there were lots of times where she wasn't, and I think she just had trouble expressing exactly what was wrong.
It was really difficult. I sometimes put trust in the wrong people. Things would get spread about me. It was hard. I had a lot of female friends. I saw how their bodies were changing around puberty, how mine was, and it didn't seem fair to me.
I think she was very good at hiding how dark it was.
When you're pretending to be someone else, pretending to be happy, for so long, you get really, really good at it. After high school, the time came to either play in a beer league for hockey or for me to give up hockey.
I had spent so many hours at rinks, it was like suddenly it's all gone.
Around the end of hockey, I realized that I was transgender. I came to the decision that it was probably best for me to move out of Sarnia, start over. I met an amazing group of friends. They really helped me get through this period of my life.
When I met her, she was presenting male and she gave me her male name.
I knew what I wanted to do. I came out, I told them I was transgender, told them the pronouns I preferred, and it all kind of went from there.
I was in my apartment and I got a phone call and I picked it up and it was Jess. She was scared to tell her family or nervous to tell her family. She didn't know how they were going to react.
Would they accept me? Would they kick me out?
One day she said to me, "I'd like to talk to you," and we went downstairs.
She told me she loved me no matter what. I was always going to be her kid.
I was the last person to know.
I was just really, really scared of disappointing him.
That is the silliest thing I've ever heard. How could I ever be disappointed? Here we go again. I'm always proud of my kids.
One thing that really stands out from that time in university was the first time that she passed as female in public. We were in Shoppers Drug Mart and we were looking at like perfumes. And I remember the sales assistant walked up to us and said, "How are you ladies doing today?" And I remember looking at Jess and seeing her like light up. And like that's just something that I look back on, and I don't know, it just makes me a little emotional.
You know someone for so long as one person, and it takes a little getting used to knowing them as someone else.
One child has died and another child has been born. She doesn't want to see pictures and things reminding her of the life before the change. I can't wipe those memories away.
Took a while for me to recover, and I started getting back into shape.
When she told me in the spring, you know, I think I'll go out and play rec hockey again, I said, oh, well, don't let me tell you, but yeah.
I joined a women's league in Sarnia in the summer, and this was probably a month after I started walking normally again.
The funny thing was, after 7 years of not playing, she was the best skater on the ice.
I decided I wanted to play more competitive hockey. I found the CWHL. I was drafted by the Toronto Furies.
Regardless of what has happened to her outside of hockey, hockey has always been a constant and a constant love for her, and that shows on the ice.
I work harder than I've ever worked in my life to be where I am.
I admire her work ethic. I admire just how much she puts into the game and how much she loves this team and wants to be a part of professional women's hockey.
Coming out publicly was something I never expected to do. There's a lot of people who don't really know too much and kind of go on their old biases. I was thinking about what I would do if they attacked me, but I had a platform for me to share my story.
Breaking news from the CWHL, Jessica Platt has become the first openly transgender woman to play in the Canadian Women's Hockey League. The 28-year-old Toronto Furies blue liner came out via an Instagram post earlier today.
There hasn't been too much hesitation. We pride ourselves on being a family, and she's just another member of the family.
Everyone was incredibly accepting immediately.
But then I saw people like transmosure. All right. What's up, friends? It's Harrison here, and I have a special guest that I'm so excited agreed to come onto my channel, Jessica Platt.
One of the things that made me decide to come out publicly was seeing other trans athletes in the media, Chris Mosier, Harrison Brown, and seeing the positive impact that they had.
I feel I know what she feels like, especially being an athlete in sports. And knowing how hard it must have been to be the first. I was blown away by the amount of bravery and courage. I got inspired in sports, and that hasn't happened in a little while.
She's willing to be a role model and mentor, not only to us in the dressing room, but also to so many other transgendered individuals in this country and around the world.
Yeah, I follow her on Instagram.
If she speaks out, she can help other people going through the same type of thing. And my gosh, that's terrific.
Just be loving, be supportive, and help your child.
Kids need to hear from people other than their parents and their teachers, and they need to hear from people who are going through something that they are going through, so that they can have role models and people to look up to.
Jess is Jess. She's a human being. She's a person. She's my kid, and I love her. That's all that needs to be done and needs to be said.
I'm able to play the sport I love. I'm engaged. I never imagined being this happy. I want to get my story out there. I want people to hear my message, and I want them to not give up like I felt I had to. They can be who they were meant to be. It's worth it. It's worth the fight.